Broadcasting live from the ESPN Radio Winchester studios, diving headfirst into Florida's finest brand of nonsense. It's time for What the Florida Friday on Franklin County's favorite morning show. The starting lineup, fueled by Loco Coffee. And now for your hosts, Joe Abraham and Chewy.
And good morning and welcome in to a What the Florida Friday on the starting lineup. ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester. I am Joe Abraham in studio with Chewy this morning. Good morning, my friend. How are you today?
I'm very tired. How are you?
Yeah, you seem very tired. I'm also very tired. Yesterday wore me out.
Yeah.
And so I went over and I did the softball game. You went over and you went to the Tennessee 250.
Mm-hmm.
How was that?
Very, very beautiful.
Yeah.
They had Johnny Ham went out there and sang a song. And
yeah.
Did the prayer and everything.
How's that guy doing?
He's doing pretty well.
Yeah.
He had his girls out there with him singing, and they had a bunch of people out there, and there was the band that was up. The stage was very impressive.
Yeah, I saw Stagger Moon posted some pictures, and the stage. I went over there prior to the event to set up the tent and all the things, and yeah, the stage was really impressive.
Yeah, but it was overall a pretty good event. Saw the mayor. I saw so many people.
Good.
Yeah, they had one
pretty good crowd, pretty good turnout.
Yes,
which is kind of surprising, not because the event wasn't tremendous, but there was so much going on last night.
Yeah, yesterday was sort of insane, and I'm glad people still made it out there for everything.
Yeah,
there was a lot of people there that I already knew.
Yeah,
but
hadn't seen in a little while.
Yeah. Kathy was there, and Terry was there. I saw a bunch of other people, and then one guy did come up to me. He goes, "Hey man, I like your show," and I was just like, "Huh?" And I was like, because I was like, "Do I know you?" You know what I mean? And he was like, "Yeah, I don't comment or anything, but I just wanted to say hi." And I was like, "Oh well, thank you for that." So that made me feel good while I was out there.
Well, there you go.
Weather was perfect.
Yeah.
Not like there's no smoldering or sweating or anything. It was nice, and then it actually got a little bit chilly there at the end.
Yeah. Well, and I was kind of, with you, I get concerned because when it gets over like 80, there's like we got to do the weather report, and it's like 75% chance of Chewy melting today.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you're kind of like internally, you're like Olaf. You might just melt away, and
it's very possible.
I'll just be left with a carrot.
Where are you keeping that? Brett Crabtree says, "Good morning, guys." Good morning, Brett Crabtree.
Good morning, Brett. If people can get involved in the show this morning, because for whatever reason the stream is working today,
dude. I'll be honest with you. Yesterday, about drove me up a wall with the stream, and
I love technology, don't you?
Hey. Good news, though.
Yeah.
I did get I'm assuming it recorded, but I hit the record button for the David Eldridge interview yesterday.
Good.
And
at least you got that.
Yeah. So I'm going to be attempting to upload that.
Right.
Clean it up a little bit.
It was good.
Ricky was there, and it was kind of funny because we had not done that dynamic in like 4 years.
I opened the door, and when I got here, and I felt like I had stepped back in a time machine.
Yeah.
You, Ricky, and David Eldridge sitting around a table.
But for those who were not able to listen because it was just on the FM signal, he's got those workshops that he's been doing.
Yeah.
And he didn't announce what the next one was or when it'll be, but basically he's going to come on the show once a month, let everybody know about how, his opinion, and maybe when the workshop is going to happen.
Yeah.
So very, very informative person. You don't have to agree with David Eldridge just to hear and learn from this man.
Right.
So don't tune in just hoping that he'll validate all your opinions, because he's going to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
And I mean that as a compliment, as someone who admires him because of that.
Yeah. I think that's why I get along with him so well and I do agree with a lot of what he says because, facts are stubborn things, and he does the research, and he's got numbers and information to back up a lot of what he says. He doesn't just come off the cuff with it, but he also has a lot of experience, and he's seen a lot of things in his time around the area and stuff. And so I do really respect him as well. And you said it, you hit the nail on the head. It's kind of like when you and I get into certain topics, or you know, you don't have to like or even agree with what we're saying, but the point is the discussion. It's not necessarily whether or not we're right or wrong. It's that we're having a discussion and talking about it. And he's great at that. Honestly, much better than I am at it as well. All right, so the show today, we've got some fun stuff to get into, some interesting stuff to get into. It is a What the Florida Friday, and you can get involved by heading over to ESPN's Facebook, ESPN Radio Winchester's Facebook page, not actual ESPN's Facebook page. They suck. Don't go over there. Their shows are terrible. Not that ours is like awesome, but ours is at least Franklin County centric. So go over to the ESPN Winchester Facebook page, and you can get involved in the show. It is a What the Florida Friday, so Sammy D will be in hour number 2. We'll see what he is up to, see what's going on in and around the community. There was a bomb threat that was quickly diffused yesterday at, I think it was Deckard Elementary.
Good Lord.
Yeah. And from what I'm told is it was more like somebody, the language that somebody used, and there was not really any credible threat or anything like that. But, again, the sheriff's department and the school, sent out some information on that. We've made posted an article over at 931go.com, so you can learn more about it there. But yesterday also we were out, Katie and I were out at the Franklin County Rebelettes' final softball game of the season, unfortunately. And it was not pretty early on, but I got to say the heart that the girls showed was pretty cool. So you go into a game like that, 10-game losing streak against Tullahoma in softball, dating all the way back to 2021. And the girls, they truly believed, like, last night was their night. And this was for an opportunity to move on to the regionals. They would have still had to go play Lawrenceburg in the district championship, but they would have locked in their seat to the regionals, and the loser was going home. They came out, and Tullahoma, the past 3 games, their bats have just been on fire. They scored like 11 against, I can't remember if it was 11 against Giles and 15 against Marshall or the other way around. But the point is, in the last few games, they have just been scoring runs in droves. And it was more of the same last night. And anybody who's been in and around a baseball and or softball program knows that sometimes when teams get hot, there's almost nothing that you can do. It seems like every time they swing the bat, they are hitting it hard. And usually you get it with like 1 or 2 players at a time. You'll have a player like an Aaron Judge or a Bryce Harper or somebody like that who gets hot, and it's like, man, I don't want to pitch the guy because he hits 4 home runs in 3 days or something like that. Well, imagine that on a scale of the entire lineup, because that's what Tullahoma has going on right now. They started the game, and Delana Marshall, Victoria Nelson, Bella Smith, credit to them, because all season long they've done a pretty good job where if they give up runs, it's usually an issue defensively where the defense gives up an error or there's like an unforced. We gave up a lot of unearned runs this year in softball, and we cut down on that later in the season as the girls continued to mature and get better defensively and play better together and things like that. And so a lot of that had gone away. But one of the things that was never really a major concern was our pitching. Now, the girls didn't necessarily, Delana didn't have her best stuff. She struggled with some of her off-speed stuff last night. But here's the thing, is they were like shell-shocked literally right off the bat, because Tullahoma came out and was just hitting every single ball right dead center. And it's tough. It's tough when they're doing that, when they get hot like that. You can't pitch around them. They weren't swinging at things outside of the zone. They're seeing the ball really well right now, and they're going to be a really hard team to beat. I mean, good luck Lawrence County, because these girls are just playing out of their mind right now. And so it was really tough. We fell behind Chewy like 13-2 early in the game. I mean, they scored 3 in the first, 3 in the second. Our girls, you thought, I think it was Leah Hardison hit a home run to lead the game off in the bottom of the first inning, and you thought, okay, we're going to see a lot of runs scored in this game, and this is going to be a very back and forth, because our girls scored 9 runs in the third inning the other night against Marshall County. We have the ability to score a lot of runs really fast. And after the home run, we went the next 3 or 4 innings without a hit. And so they scored 3 in the first, 3 in the second, 4 in the third, and it was basically over 3 or 4 innings into the game, or at least so you thought. So we get to the bottom of the 5th inning, and all Tullahoma has to do is get out of the inning without giving up 2 runs, and they were going to 10-run rule us. And all of a sudden, the girls started clawing back. And in the last 3 runs combined, we outscored them 7 or 8 to nothing.
Wow.
So we came back, and it ended up, the final score, I believe, was 13-9 or 13-8. I think it was 13-9. I think it was a 4-run game. But the point is that the girls could have given up there easily. I had, as a broadcaster, I had pretty much given up. And next thing you know, they fought back and clawed their way back into it. And what I think that you got to respect is that, again, that resiliency, which is something that our Franklin County athletes across the board, whether it's the football program, basketball program this year with everything that happened with Grayson, the guys' basketball team fighting through and getting better as the season went on, and just playing tough till the last minute or the last inning, the last out. That is one thing that these kids have ingrained in them, and that's the one thing I think that they're learning, not just on the field, but from our community. Mm-hmm. It seems reflective, indicative of how our community operates. So credit to the parents, credit to the teachers, credit to the families of these kids for ingraining that into them. And it'll come. Unfortunately, it was Molly Casey's last night. It was also Caitlin Montgomery's last night for the Franklin County Rebelettes. There's a few other girls who we may or may not see back. I hope we see a lot of them back, because there's a lot of young talent on that roster. And as well, sad day, it was Kelly Kennedy's last game as the coach of that team as well. But once again, 3rd season in a row, the Tullahoma girls softball team ends the Franklin County Rebelettes softball team. If we could get past that team, that dang team up north, and I think we will. I think we're going to break through at some point, and it's going to be special. The guys broke through this past weekend, and they are playing in a regional game tonight, actually.
Oh, wow. Lambo jumped in saying Go-Go Hoagies is back at FC today at the Roe Deckard Food Truck Park with Frostbites ice cream. Come grab a Godfather fresh Italian hoagie.
Ooh.
Kevin Simmons jumped in saying, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Kevin.
Morning, Kevin.
Jody Farrell says, morning from this crap hole that is Clarksville. And then
I love it.
Andrew jumped in saying, good morning. Good morning, Andrew.
Good morning to everybody. So a 3rd place finish for Franklin County in the district. Now, one of the things I also wanted to ask people, Chewy, this morning on a show is we've been doing this a long time. Well, not really a long time. We've been doing this for quite a while. You and I, we've been doing this thing. And we have different versions of the show. We've got the really intense versions where we get deep into something and Joe loses his mind and everybody hates, some people hate Joe after the show, and then we come back 48 hours, everybody forgets about it, and we move on. We have the type of shows where you and I just goof off all day long. We have the sports shows where we talk about a lot of sports. My question to the listeners is, what keeps them coming back? What I'd really be interested in is, why or what types of shows do you guys listen to? What is it about the show? And this is not just for the loyalists, but if you're listening out there and you never comment, you never get involved in the show, what is it that keeps you coming back to the show? What do you love about the program? Because what I'd like to do is more of that for you.
Yeah.
You know, if there is something, because we get tons of listeners on these shows where we get into it and we really hit a topic hard and I piss a bunch of people off and stuff like that. Yeah, we get a ton of listeners, but I'm not just in it to get a ton of listeners on a one-day thing and piss a bunch of people off. What I want to do is provide you guys with the best version of us. So tell us what that is. What kind of dynamic between Chewy and I do you think that is? And we'll try and give you more of that. Speaking of which, Chewy, today I want to get into something when we come back on the other side. It is the spring football game, and I will get into that a little bit later on the show. We're closing in on summer.
Yeah.
To me, there is something that sets off summer. There's something that really makes it feel like summer.
Okay.
And I want to know what that thing is for listeners. Like, what triggers in your mind that it feels like summer is coming? Right now, you step outside, and it feels like fall. It feels like we're going the other way.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's really nice.
Yeah, Chewy got a hold of some kind of technology. I think he reversed global warming. We're all screwed. So I want to talk about that a little bit. I also was thinking about, we talked about our like most favoritist things over the last few days, our top fives, our top 5 books, our top 5 albums, our top 5 movies, our top 5 video games. One of the things that got me thinking of is, what are our most overrated things that we like know of in those categories maybe, and we're like, not as good in my opinion as everybody makes it out to be.
I like this.
And I like it too, because I'm a hater. I love hating on stuff. And so I'm excited about that. We can talk about that today on the show. It is a Friday night, and there's football back. I mentioned that. What makes Friday nights special to you guys? I've got a tremendous What the Florida Friday story today on the show as well. But Chewy, when we come back, I've got 2 stories that we're going to get into right off the top. One is, and I don't know if you saw this, there was a delivery truck that was basically attacked by a 747. We talk about that.
Okay.
And then there is a real-life cruise ship nightmare.
Oh, I heard about this one.
And we can talk about that as well. But get involved in the show. It is a What the Florida Friday here. You are tuned in to the starting lineup, fueled by Loco Coffee. This is ESPN Radio 1340, 1069 WCDT Winchester.
The Tennessee Lifeline Peer Project connects individuals and families to addiction recovery resources right here in Franklin County and across our region. From treatment referrals and 12-step meetings to education and ongoing support. Because recovery happens when we're stronger together, and life truly is stronger without it. Learn more at fcpctn.org/TNLifeline or call 931-464-0725. Funded under a grant contract with the Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
Whether you need a quick fix or you got a full-on project, the team at Poultry Electric and Pro Hardware has you covered. From electrical and plumbing supplies to Makita power tools, Benjamin Moore paints, lawn and garden gear, and dependable appliances. They carry the brands you trust with service that treats you like family. Serving Franklin County for over 35 years, they're your local hardware experts and proud supporters of Franklin County sports. Located on Sharp Springs Road in Winchester and online at poultryelectric.com.
From the 931 Weather Center, it's time for an ESPN Winchester weather update.
No more rain headed your way today. We're starting off our day with a little bit of patchy fog before 7 a.m. Otherwise, it'll be clearing up bright and sunny. 73 degrees this afternoon, with some calm winds coming in at just 5 miles per hour. Stay tuned to ESPN Radio Winchester 1340 1069 for all of your pleasant weather updates.
This is ESPN Radio Winchester, where Franklin County comes to life. From local news and athletics to everything in between, we're proud to bring you the stories that matter right here at home. And it's all made possible by local businesses connecting with real people in our community every single day. When you support them, you support our local coverage. Over 75 years of Franklin County heritage. Want your business to be a part of it? Contact WCDT today. ESPN Radio Winchester. Franklin County plays here.
We apologize if this is your first time, but yes, unfortunately, this is normal. You're listening to the starting lineup on ESPN Radio 1340 1069, WCDT Winchester.
All right, back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester. Joe Abraham alongside Chewy. It is a What the Florida Friday. And before we get into all the What the Florida stuff, got some other things that we want to get into. Jody Farrell says Blackberry winter. Is that the winter that we are in right now? I've heard there's all of these. There's like dogwood winter and blackberry. I don't know what any of them means. I don't know if anybody knows what any of them means. I think they just, you know what? I think we're just making up winners, okay? Coming up after Blackberry Winter is Chewy Winter. Just by the way, in case you didn't know, Chewy Winter is when it's real. So right now, it's kind of like a really cold overnight, and then it kind of warms up a little bit, but it still feels, you feel that kind of cool fall breeze. It feels like in the day. So Chewy Winter is when it gets really cold at night so that Chewy can get some sleep. And then during the day, it is hot, really, really hot. And Chewy perspires everywhere. That's Chewy Winter. Coming up next.
Coming up next, he says. Yeah. We're all going to die. Coming up next.
Jody also says, listening helps keep me connected to home, especially the politics. Oh, I just clicked off of it. Especially the politics. I care more about what's happening here than I do in Clarksville. Plus, I get to see Brett Crabtree. And Brett says, oh, you're too kind. Brett says, I'm definitely partial to the feather-ruffling shows where the tough topics are discussed. But also, I enjoy the comic relief. Brett basically just says that he likes when we piss people off. That's what he's in it for. What are you in it for? What keeps you coming back?
Jody Farrell said, my papa could have told y'all all about them. Last winter is the list in Cotton Britches Winter. Look that one up. Interesting.
Okay. Cotton Britches Winter is pretty good.
Yeah, I like that one.
Maybe that's the one that needs to be like Chewy Winter.
No, my winter would be Fimble Winter.
What?
It's the freeze that comes during Ragnarok.
You're a weird man.
I mean, it took you that long to figure it out, Joe Abraham.
Okay.
You don't ever want to just get out there and freeze a little just to know that you're alive?
No, that's why I do the show with you.
To know that you're alive?
Yes.
You're like, oh, thank God I'm not that.
Yeah. No. Okay, so Chewy.
Yeah.
This is not necessarily a local thing, so I'm sorry for Jody and anybody else who wanted us to get into local political topic this morning, which we may. Who knows? It's still early. We're only 7:23. But have you heard about this cruise ship with the hantavirus thing?
Yeah, I saw a meme last night that I couldn't figure out, and I went down the rabbit hole with it, and they said all it said was, "I'm not doing Corona again. Sink the ship." And
yeah.
I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
So apparently, like 3 or 5 or I don't know, a handful of people have died from this thing. I don't know what the hantavirus is. It doesn't sound fun.
No. But who knows?
Well, my question to you is, and to everybody else, are you like a Are you like a cruise kind of person? I have really no interest in going on a cruise. Katie's terrified of the idea of a cruise. Me, never really seemed interested in going on a cruise. I think it would be cool maybe to go out on the open water and just see like water as far as the eye could see type of thing. But also that would be terrifying to me. I don't necessarily want to do that. And there's so many people. Oh, I don't like people. I don't like to be around large groups of people. It would be uncomfortable. I think it's like my worst nightmare is a cruise ship.
Jody Verrill said pandemic. But
Pandemic.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been on one or two when I was a lot younger.
Are they fun?
They can be, but I think you have to both have the right people and you have to be like that has to vibe with you.
Yeah.
You know, because you cannot force someone to have I don't know what that was, but I appreciate it. Whatever it was.
No more pandemics.
Thank you.
She sent us stars.
Wow, thanks, Jody. No more pandemics, she says.
Jody Farrell's over here sending us stars, guys.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
That's tremendous.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Good job by her. W's in the chat.
W's in the chat for Jody. Yeah. But for a cruise, I enjoyed it for a little bit.
Right.
But like we did one for a week and then one for a weekend. Do the weekend. Like after the fourth day, it gets a little
old.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that, after you get to the fourth day, they should like incur some sort of a virus, some sort of an outbreak, just to keep it interesting.
Yeah.
But no, all I can think of is being stuck on
Jody,
a boat.
I apologize, my friend.
What?
He's a he. Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry, Jody.
Jody's a he?
Yeah, that's what he says. Sorry, Jody.
Oh.
But thank you for the stars, friend.
Oh, you know what it was? I was looking at the picture. I saw the picture of not Jody, the other one. Jody. No, it was Jody. Jody's picture earlier. I clicked on a picture and I thought it was a picture of a woman. Maybe I clicked on the wrong one. I don't know. I could have sworn I clicked on a picture and it was a picture of a woman.
Now, but cruises though usually have a destination, so you do get to get off and then do like a thing.
Well, yeah, and that's cool. Go all inclusive resorts. Cruise ships are a waste of money. That's Lambo. So. Yeah, it would be, I guess, if you were going somewhere. But here's the thing. I'm just terrified of being locked in a ship. And then you basically you willfully give away your freedom, right? Because now, okay, if there's an outbreak, they ain't letting you get off. And two, I heard about that one where all the toilets stopped working.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like the poop cruise.
Yeah, Dookie cruise.
But you got viruses, apparently. I mean, there could be engine fires. What if you get stuck out there in the sea? You got pirates. You never know when some Jack Sparrow's just going to show up. You can fall overboard. That happens all the time. I see that all the time. People falling off ships. I don't know how you fall off a ship, but I'd like to take Chewy on one and test it out. See how that works.
I know one guy got arrested and then left in the country that they went to go because he jumped off the side.
Yeah.
And they're like, can't do that. So they just left him. And they were like, you can't come back on the ship. And they left him one time. Now, there are parts of cruise, like, okay, if you've never been on a cruise, even a very cheap cruise, like a Carnival where you're like a lower inner deck kind of thing, no window, like you can get pretty decently priced tickets on the cheap for like a weekend. Sometimes there have been people who got on them, and there's only been like one or two people booked.
Okay, so that is my kind of cruise.
Yeah.
But I don't know how you fall into lucking out like that. That would be tremendous. My fears from like the whole cruise ship scenario are totally not unjustified, but kind of way out there.
They're exacerbated, but they're real.
Dude, I've seen The Last Ship. I am terrified of coming back and like everybody's gone. Just like you go out to sea, you come back, you went through some portal in the Bermuda Triangle, and now you're in an alternate reality, and there's nobody.
I will say this: it is one of those things where it's like it tells your brain. It is basically designed for your brain to freak out. You know what I mean? Like you said, the claustrophobia, the isolation, the possible, all of the things that could go wrong while you're stuck in the middle of the ocean. You know what I mean? Like, I get that. But at the same time, these ships are basically rated to withstand hurricane winds. 9 times out of 10, you are being followed by some sort of Coast Guard or naval people, even in very safe waters.
Yeah.
They are just, you can always look off to the side. They usually have 2 or 3 boats that are following you, depending on where you are. So, and also think about it, you're on top of basically a giant antenna where they, like, the communication signals that they can send out, distress signals, people will find you, especially if you're just in, like, the Caribbean.
Right.
People would find you by accident,
Yeah.
let alone you getting stuck out there. Now, that being said, I don't think that diminishes the fear. I have that fear. Like, that whole, like, if something goes wrong, where do we go? You know what I mean? Like, I get that too. But there's a lot of things that, like, they've done to alleviate some of that, but you can't get rid of all of it. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I get a little irritated sometimes when people get mad that someone else doesn't want to, like, fly on a plane or go on a cruise, and it's like, it's not about the reality. You know what I mean? Like, the part of a phobia is that it is irrational.
Yeah, it's irrational.
You know what I mean?
See, here's the other thing, is I have a tendency to, and I try to put it out of my mind, but I feel like I've got pretty bad luck. And when I say pretty bad luck, I mean, like, terrible. So I went deep sea fishing one time. And the reason I only went one time is because we were out there, we're dropping lines just, like, down there, trying to catch these little fishes. I was probably 15 years old. And it seemed fun at first until there was a storm that came through. Now, why we decided to go all Gilligan in the middle of a nasty day in Southwest Florida, I don't know. But there was a whole group of us. This storm kicks up, starts raining, starts getting nasty. So we're going to go back in. But we can't go back in because the engine breaks down. And we're just sitting out there in a storm, and the engine is broken.
Oh, my God.
So then this other boat had to come get us and tow us back in. But you've got 2 boats, and they didn't want to overstress the other boat, so we're going really slow. Through a storm, it turned a 3-hour tour?
Yeah.
Turned a 3-hour fishing trip into, like, an 8-hour all-day event.
An endeavor.
Yeah. And
that didn't scar you?
That was the only it did scar me. That's why I haven't been back out there.
My bad. I thought you were okay. Yeah, I get you.
I really have no interest.
I understand that.
Some people love cruises, though. They swear by them.
Well,
like, that's their favorite thing to do.
Johnny Hand jumped in and says, I was eating my 3rd ice cream cone. Did I miss anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Johnny goes on cruises just for the ice cream cones.
Johnny, what is it about a cruise that appeals to you, just out of curiosity?
The ice cream. Outside of the ice cream, what is it?
Outside of that, yeah. Like, what do you like about a cruise? I would definitely go on another one again if it was reasonably priced, you know?
I think that what terrifies me the most, because I can think about a lot of bad vacation scenarios, right? Like, you could lose a passport, you could get stranded somewhere, you could have a bad hotel experience, had one of those. You could have your rental car break down or something like that. Your car could break down, out of town. That doesn't happen, by the way, if you go to Heath Automotive. It could, but it's less likely to happen. Your air conditioning could go out at your hotel or your condo or something like that. But to me, what terrifies me about the cruise ship is, so you're on the cruise ship, you could have all of these things go wrong with the ship, on the ship, with other people. You're stuck with these people, right? You've essentially willfully given up your freedom to leave the ship when you decide. They tell you when you can come and go and do all the things. You're also in deep water. There's things in the water that, I don't know about you, but I'm told we know less about what's in the ocean than we do about in space. And what I'm terrified of is setting myself up to be in a horror movie.
Sure.
10 years from now.
Man, they need to do that. Is do a horror movie set on a cruise ship. They haven't done that yet. That hasn't been a scary thing. That's a good idea. Imagine being chased on a cruise ship, but you have to play it cool so no one freaks out.
Yeah. I don't know. That would be a terrifying place for zombies to.
Ooh, it'd be like the Train to Busan, but like a bunch of tourists.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome. Brett Crabtree jumped in saying, yeah, you bleed, you just know you're alive, and I don't want the world to see me because I don't think they'd understand when everything's made to. Oh, sorry, Chewy. I just got that song stuck in my head. Thanks. Jamie Price jumped in and said, I never had a desire to go on a cruise, and my wife was adamant that we go on one for our 50th anniversary. Hold on, got to go all the way back up. Or for our 5th anniversary, excuse me. I even went so far to tell my boss to make me work that week so I didn't have to go. I'm not afraid of the water or being out in the middle of the ocean. I just didn't really want to go. I ended up doing it anyway, and it was the best vacation I had ever been on. Very relaxing, all you can eat buffet pretty much all day long. No cell phone, no laptop. It was fairly cheap compared to most normal vacations. Interesting. Brett Crabtree says, speaking of being stranded in the ocean, I just discovered a new Lord of the Flies series on Netflix. Oh, sick. That sounds good.
You know what I have considered is, and it's funny because we talk about the horrors of being stuck on a cruise ship. I would love, maybe I do need to take a cruise. I would love to be stranded on a desert island.
Dude, I do same.
I would like W's in the chat for getting stranded like Gilligan on a friggin' island. Can we please? I mean, do you know, like, no cell phone service, can't reach me. Just, I don't know, seafood all day every day.
Drinking coconut water and soaking up some rays.
I'd have to have a fresh water source.
Yeah,
coconut water would rot out my teeth.
Oh, well, yeah, but you can live without your teeth.
Yeah. Yeah, seafood is soft.
Yeah, like, just eating crab legs every night,
Yeah. There's certain things.
Puffer fish. All right.
Sure.
That's
that
a failed
one.
joke. Puffer fish poison to relax.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing. Johnny Ann says, you go to an amazing place for a single day, and you get to see some of the very best at that place, and then get back on a boat for a full course dinner. Then a show after. Cruising is the absolute best. Katie jumped in saying, soulmates, Joseph. No cruises for us. Lambo says, people like the upfront cost of a cruise, but in the end, and especially if you want the adult beverage options, it costs more than it's worth. And being limited to their schedule, no thanks. All-inclusive resorts are the way to go. And then he followed up saying, and I love deep-sea fishing. I once caught a tuna, and it was, and I had it for dinner. It was delicious. Man, have you ever seen a tuna, like, up close, like a full-size tuna?
No.
Dude,
not like living.
It is way bigger than you think it is. And
yeah, they're like the size of this table.
Oh, no, they're bigger than that.
Really?
Yeah, like the really big ones, they get gnarly huge.
Really?
Yeah.
Imagine getting eaten by a tuna.
Ooh, that would be a fun way to go.
It would be ironic.
Reverse calamari,
Okay, so we may have buried the lead in this story because apparently they're out there like looking for people that got off of this boat.
Oh, God.
Yeah, with the hantavirus.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that's what we were talking about.
Yeah. Now, by the way, I do think that we need to make that movie. It would be a great Jordan Peele movie,
like
some sort of terror on a cruise ship type of thing. I think that would be good.
Some Twilight episode thing. Yeah.
It's never good when they pull out the hazmat suits on the cruise ship.
Right.
Do you think that they've got those like stored away somewhere?
My guess would be probably maybe at least one.
Yeah. People start like hoarding shrimp in their rooms and stuff like that. The shrimp cocktail.
Going to the all-you-can-eat buffet and like taking out one of the trays and just running with it.
So apparently hantavirus, just in case you were wondering, causes inflammation in the heart and lungs, which may result in fluid buildup in the lungs and eventually death. Sounds pleasant. In the case of the cruise ship, one person who died of hantavirus presented first with fever, headaches, and mild diarrhea. So you could have, I don't know, a touch of the flu or, whatever, cold.
Yeah.
Or hantavirus.
Yeah,
just watch out. All right, when we come back, we'll go out to Heath Automotive.
All right, today's Friday.
It is Friday. No poultry electric this morning. We've moved Friday poultry calls to the afternoon show.
So if you want to get in your call with them, with either Christy or Jeff, jump in from 2 to 4 this afternoon.
All right. We'll be back on the other side. It is the starting lineup, fueled by Loco Coffee and not hantavirus. This is ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
Spring is a season of renewal, and at High Point Health System, with Ascension St. Thomas, your health is always in season. From routine checkups to advanced care, their dedicated team is here to help you feel your best, today and every day. Compassionate care, backed by the strength of Ascension St. Thomas. This spring, take a moment for your health. Learn more or find a provider at highpointhealthsystem.com. High Point Health System with Ascension St. Thomas. Caring for you for every season of life.
Looking for a reliable car at an affordable price? Stop by Money Down Motors here in Deckard. We specialize in quality pre-owned vehicles with low down payments and flexible financing options. No matter your credit history, drive away today with a car you'll love and a payment plan that works for you. Visit us at 1945 Deckard Boulevard or call 931-962-3404 for more info. At Money Down Motors LLC, your ride is waiting.
It's time for a local news break from the 931 Go News Center.
A former Franklin County High School teacher has been indicted on sex crime charges involving a minor. In a press release earlier this week, Herbert Toby Mays was indicted by a Tennessee grand jury on charges of sexual exploitation of a minor and solicitation of a minor. Detectives say the investigation began several weeks ago, and the indictment was returned Tuesday, based on evidence presented to the grand jury. Mays is currently being held without bond pending a court hearing. Authorities are asking any other potential victims to contact the Franklin County Sheriff's Office. The Franklin County School District confirmed Mays resigned at the conclusion of the 2024-25 school year. In a statement, the district said it is cooperating fully with law enforcement and emphasized that student safety remains its top priority. Because the case is an active investigation, district officials say no further comment will be made at this time. In separate law enforcement activity, the Winchester Police Department recently conducted a sale to minor operation following complaints that some retailers were selling vaping products to individuals under the age of 21. During the operation, a verified minor entered 17 local establishments with valid state-issued identification reflecting their true age. 3 retailers, Downtown Vape and Smoke, Mad Smoke and Vape, and Half Moon Smoke Shop, sold vaping products to the minor. Clerks at Half Moon Smoke Shop and Mad Smoke and Vape were issued citations in lieu of arrest. At Downtown Vape and Smoke, the minor was sold vaping products twice during the operation. The clerk, identified as Adia Batros, was cited for the first offense and taken into custody after the second. Under Tennessee law, individuals under 21 cannot purchase tobacco or vaping products, and it is illegal to sell or provide those products to minors. This also remains an active investigation. For more local news and updates, visit 931go.com. Stay informed and stay connected to ESPN Radio Winchester.
This is Daryl from Columbus, previously from the Paul Feinbaum Show.
Check in scissor hands. I'm the wrong guy to ask, but what's the secret to a good haircut?
A good haircut makes you feel confident. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you get that haircut, you're going to walk out that barbershop, you're going to look in the mirror, and you're going to be like, yeah, that's it. And you're going to tip the barber.
The Paul Feinbaum Show, weekdays at 3 Eastern on the ESPN app and on the SEC network.
More Courtney Funeral Home. Well, they're a 5th-generation funeral home taking care of the people of Franklin County since 1905. They're committed to serving you, dedicated to providing personalized, professional, and compassionate service to help lighten your burden and help you out during these difficult times. More Courtney Funeral Home, 300 First Avenue Northwest in Winchester, 967-2222. More Courtney Funeral Home.
Got a project to tackle or a party to plan? Skip the stress and rent it instead at Reliable Rental in Winchester. From tools and heavy-duty machines to chairs, tables, and event essentials, they've got what you need to get the job done right. Whether it's work or a weekend celebration, Reliable Rental makes it easy. Stop by 2433 Deckard Boulevard in Winchester, or check out everything they offer online at reliablerentalfc.com. Reliable Rental. When you need it, they've got it.
We had a plan, and then the microphones came on. You're listening to the starting lineup on ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
Pop. Back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester. It got me thinking in a break. I can't remember the last time I took like an actual vacation. Drop in the FMO Facebook feed, guys. What is because there are different types of vacations and vacation lovers. So what is your favorite type of vacation to take? Are you a beach person? I think the beach is like what a lot of people are. Then there's mountain people.
Oh, yeah.
They go the other way. Mm-hmm. To me, you're either a beach person or a mountain person. Like, you have a preference.
Got to get a cabin up somewhere.
Yeah.
Or a bungalow.
My parents would rather go to the mountains and poof away into the woods. I think that's, I think that's Chewy. Chewy doesn't want to go sit and melt on a beach. He wants to go into the woods, take his clothes off, and run around screaming like a Yeti.
My first and only true love is the sea.
Yeah.
But
no. Last time he came back from a vacation, you should have seen the rash that he had from all the poison ivy. It was in very unfortunate places.
Listen, you just got to know that you're alive sometimes, okay? You know what I mean? And if that means going a little feral, you go a little feral. Gatlinburg wasn't the same after that, but that's okay.
Oh, gosh. By the way, he's no longer allowed in that entire county.
I've basically got a no-fly zone every indoor water park they've got, which sucks because they have a lot.
Well, and so all those signs and the statues that you see of the Sasquatch and stuff, those aren't like promotional things for the area and for the Sasquatch. Like they don't promote something that doesn't exist. They're literally those are like if you see this man run, and that's the artist rendition of Chewy. So if you wondered why those things are popping up all over the place, they're indicative of the impact that Chewy has just had in the wilderness communities around us.
You just go outside, you start smelling grilled cheese, and you're like, oh boy, here it comes. You know what I mean? You better start booking it, son, because I'm faster than you think I am. It's upsetting.
Yeah. Well, and that reach. So the other day, Chewy was sitting in his desk across the room from me, and I turn around, and, I mean, the guy is like 15, 20 feet away, and he almost slapped me in the head from the other side of the room. It was very disturbing.
Yeah.
So drop into the chat. What kind of – are you a cruise person? Are you a beach person? Are you a destination person? Are you a Europe person? Like, do you want to see a certain destination or a certain landmark? Do you just go visit family? Like, is that your vacation? When you take a trip, what do you look forward to?
Are we in the idyllic zone, like best case scenario?
Yes. Like, what do you want to, like, if you were going to leave out tomorrow, where are you going type of thing?
I would go somewhere of interesting historical significance, whether that be American or anywhere else.
I like that.
I want to go, like, I've always wanted to go to Salem, learn some stuff about that. Washington, D.C., if you just like history, is like one of the best places to go.
I agree with that. Unfortunately, and I wish that I could go to Washington and there not be people there. It's so touristy, right?
Right.
And as somebody who would want to go, and I've been once, as somebody who wants to go for the history and take time and kind of do that whole thing, A, that's tough with kids, but B, it's so tourist. And what makes me feel gross about Washington is, honestly, you've got these huge buildings that have amazing architecture. It's like a lost art, right, with the architecture. And then you got the streets are just filled with homeless people living in tents.
And
on the sidewalk,
trash, and
and all the politicians are walking up and down in their Gucci, and it's just gross. It's everything that's wrong with the country, in my opinion.
It's good though from a tourist spot because a lot of those museums are all free.
Yeah.
To the locals.
Yeah, that's true.
But man, I do want to go see like Rome. I want to go to the Middle East. I want to go to Pakistan. I want to see a couple ruins out there. I want to go to like Göbekli Tepe. That's like one of the oldest human civilization sites. I want to go see some of the caves with the paintings. You know?
I've always wanted to go to like the whole region that Jesus lived in.
Oh,
I'd love,
dude, yes,
to kind of stand where he stood, walk where he walked, like that kind of thing.
Because I think they have like things set up for that specifically too. Like especially in Israel. Dad went to Israel and he thought it was like so sick.
Well,
and history.
And again, I hope that it's not overly touristy to the point where when I go to a place, I like for it to just be how it was.
Sure.
I don't want it to be like we went to the Alamo, which was really cool. And the only problem that I had with the Alamo was that because the thing is basically coming apart, they have had to preserve it and like fix it over and over and over again to where most of what you're looking at is not original in any way. So it's not really what it kind of like these aren't the bricks or the rocks necessarily. Some of it is. I'm not saying that it's all like that, but it's just been maintained and redone over and over and over again. I bring all of that up because we were talking about it just yesterday. I would love to get in a travel trailer and take like a cross-country trip. I've always wanted to go like out west and make that loop up into the Montanas, the Dakotas, that type of thing, and kind of circle back around. And I don't want to do it. You don't want to do it in the winter, right? You want to do it when it's nice. It would be so cool to take the show on the road for like 2 weeks and just drive during the day, stop somewhere, see some sights, and then you and I the next morning do the show before we leave out and talk about all the things that we saw, and then like drive to the next location.
That would be kind of fun, especially getting like locals to come on and being guests and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you go.
That would be really cool. Yeah. See how many mayors we can get on the show. Make Sean and Chris guests, make them jealous a little bit. Anyway, so that's kind of what planted the seed into my head. Also that and the hantavirus cruise, which doesn't sound fun at all. All right, Chewy, let's go out to Heath Automotive, and we will see what Steve and them are up to this morning. Because if we're going to take a trip and pull our travel trailer, we probably, which we don't have, if you want to loan us a travel trailer for like 2 weeks, just like 2 weeks, I give you $5. I'll borrow the travel trailer, and we go around the country. You can sponsor Chewy and I's. It'd be like Harold and Kumar go to the Grand Canyon. That would be. Yeah, I would feel bad for the United States if that happened. If you and I hit the road.
We got Steve on the line here.
Good morning, Steve. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm doing great, Joe.
So Chewy and I were just, more me. Chewy was just kind of along for the ride. But we were just discussing the idea of, what would be really fun is to take the show on the road this summer and find a travel trailer and roll out and just go like all over the United States for like 2 weeks or something like that, and just do the show from anywhere and everywhere. But if we were to do that, we'd want to make sure that our vehicle was in tip-top shape, and the travel trailer was ready to go as well. Maybe we had some good fresh tires on the back of that thing. And is that something, do you guys work on trailers and other things, attachments like that as well?
Every day.
Really?
We keep trailer tires is a huge segment for us because we keep them in stock. It doesn't, when somebody's on the side of the road, it doesn't, and they come in, and they're kind of in a panic going, man, I've blown a tire. I'm down here on 64. Each inch you've got a tire, and we keep, we probably, of all the different sizes, I try to stock just about everything from a very large, heavy-duty trailer down to just a garden cart and everything in between. We probably stock 90 to 100 trailer tires of different sizes and whatnot that we keep in stock. So that's a huge segment for us. And then if you're doing trailer tires, you're going to be into the, bearing maintenance and all, making sure bearings are properly greased or in good shape. It's not unusual, customers will come in going, hey, I've got to pull this boat to, someplace, and I don't want to be out here on the highway. Because just a little short pull, down from the house to the boat ramp or, out to Home Depot and get something and back, that's not a big deal. But when you get out on the highway and you generate heat, distance driving, got a load, and all, everything needs to be in good shape.
Yeah. Well, and it certainly is one of those things when you're pulling a trailer as well, that can become a very dangerous situation if it's not in good shape, and that goes to not just the tires, but like the braking systems as well. Do you guys have the ability to work on other aspects of the trailer, or is it mainly just the tires?
Tires, brake, your electric brakes, receiver hitch installation, lighting systems.
Wow.
Just about the stuff that needs to have maintenance done and repair and taken care of. Trailer is one of those things that kind of out of sight, out of mind. You don't use it that frequently. Now, I've got customers that use a trailer every day. They're a different type of customer, and a lot of times their needs are going to be different from the person that pulls the trailer twice a year. So.
Right. As far as the types of trailers that you guys deal with, are we talking about, and you mentioned things to pull your boat, maybe guys pulling lawnmowers around, things like that, or travel trailers, but how big do you guys go with these trailers?
Well, if you've ever seen a 3-axle lowboy heavy equipment hauler,
wow.
14, 16-ply tires. And we keep those in stock. I have commercial accounts that when they need them, they need them. So that's the big stuff. And of course, you get into some large travel trailers. People get out here and pull from the RV parks to the RV parks and travel and all. And they're very particular about having good tires on there and stuff that's going to do the job for them. So there's been a trend over the last few years of going to heavier ply tires. So where something used to be the typical load carrying capacity was a 6-ply tire, then they've gone to 8-ply, 10-ply. I've got 12, 14, 16-ply tires. It depends on the application.
Right. Well, speaking of the application and the uniqueness of the tires that you guys, tire solutions that you guys are able to help with, what about like lawn and garden equipment or lawnmowers and other things like that? Like, what are some of the more weird and random types of things that you guys are able to find tires for?
Well, you can get some, a lot of times on older equipment, people will take care of garden carts and lawnmowers and whatnot, and they can get some age on them, quite a few years, where they've been well maintained and all. So, and these tires, they're just like anything else tire-wise. Age will get tires at some point in time. I don't care if it's a lawnmower, cart, car, truck, trailer. So it comes to the point in time where you've got to change them, and sometimes we have to do a little hunting to find the right tire for the customer. But that's what we do.
Well, where can people find you if they've got a unique challenge and need a new tire on their vehicle, on their trailer, on their piece of lawn equipment? Where can they find you guys?
Our address is in Winchester, Tennessee, 501 First Avenue Southwest in Winchester. That's 4 blocks off the square. You can always give us a call, 967-3880. If you want to talk about unique tires, I've got a tire here that one of my very steady customers brought by. He does a lot in military surplus and antique military vehicles and all, and he brought by a tire that he took off. It's from the 30s. Looks a lot like a motorcycle tire, but it came off the predecessor to the Jeep, the Willis Jeep used in the Army.
Wow.
And I forget the name of it, but it was the predecessor to the Jeep, and it's kind of a conversation piece. We have it here. He dropped it by. He said, I thought you guys would want to see this, maybe keep it and hang on to it and show people. I've already had more than one customer say, well, that's a motorcycle tire. I said, no, it came off a vehicle.
Wow. That's very cool.
It was probably a motorcycle company back in the day that, a lot of times those were the companies. Bicycle and motorcycle companies made a lot of your original automobiles.
Right.
It's an industry that has transitioned over the years.
Certainly is. Well, it is Heath Automotive. He is Steve over there, and you can find them on the web as well at heathautomotivetire.com. Steve, thank you so much for the work that you and your team are doing to keep folks safe rolling down the road.
All right, Joe, you get the wild hair to take off. Come by and let us check you out first. Make sure you're roadworthy.
I know where to find you, brother.
All right, sir.
That is Steve over at Heath Automotive. Hour number 2 coming up on the other side in just a moment. You're tuned in to the starting lineup fueled by Loco Coffee on ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
Why choose More Courtney Funeral Home? Well, they're a fifth-generation funeral home taking care of the people of Franklin County since 1905. They're committed to serving you, dedicated to providing personalized, professional, and compassionate service to help lighten your burden and help you out during these difficult times. More Courtney Funeral Home, 300 First Avenue Northwest in Winchester, 967-2222. More Courtney Funeral Home.
Got a project to tackle or a party to plan? Skip the stress and rent it instead at Reliable Rental in Winchester. From tools and heavy-duty machines to chairs, tables, and event essentials, they've got what you need to get the job done right. Whether it's work or a weekend celebration, Reliable Rental makes it easy. Stop by 2433 Deckard Boulevard in Winchester or check out everything they offer online at ReliableRentalFC.com. Reliable Rental. When you need it, they've got it.
When life hits you hard, you need someone who will stand up and fight back for you. Andy Davis, attorney at law, serves Southern Middle Tennessee in personal injury, criminal defense, family law, bankruptcy, and more. Call today to set up your free consultation, where you'll get clear answers, honest guidance, and a plan built around your needs. Online at southerninjurylaw.com. This is an advertisement. Andy Davis, attorney at law, responsible for content. No representation is made that the quality of legal services is greater than that of other lawyers.
The future of healthcare starts here. The Southern Tennessee Regional Health System, Winchester and Suwannee, are joining the High Point Health System with Ascension St. Thomas, a health network serving communities across the state. We're working together to expand access, improve clinical quality, and keep you close to home throughout your care journey. Your favorite providers aren't going anywhere. It's the same care you know and trust, now with a new name. High Point Health with Ascension St. Thomas. Learn more at highpointhealthsystem.com.
Good morning, Deckard.
Good morning, WCD team.
How are you guys out there this morning?
We are fabulous on this Friday. How about you guys?
Oh, we're doing all right ourselves. We're looking forward to maybe having an excellent pledge this morning. Do you guys think you could do that for us?
We've got first grade from Miss McGuirk's class ready to make that happen. It's our last day of first grade.
Oh, wow.
First grade doing the pledge.
Let's hear it.
Good morning, Franklin County.
Please join Deckard as we stand, salute, and pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Beautiful pledge this morning. Thank you, guys.
Oh, that's a good one. All right, so I took this morning. Tell me your name.
My name is Adeline, and I have a joke. Why doesn't the sun go to college?
I don't know.
Because it already has million of degrees.
That was a really cute one. All right, well, y'all have a wonderful day out there, okay, Deckard?
Y'all too. Thank you.
See ya.
A millions of degrees.
That's cute. I like that one.
All right. It is hour number 2 here, and it is a What the Florida Friday, which means that we're going to take a pause for production and welcome in this guy.
When chaos looms and justice hangs by a thread, there's only one man to call. Sam Davidson.
Good morning, Sam.
Good morning, fellas. You know, we gave him an intro, and now he just keeps coming back.
Actually, no. I was coming before I had the intro.
That's true. Yeah.
Oh,
he was. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at least you're not coming on other days of the week, because if you show up at my door, it wasn't me, it was Chewy.
I understand.
How are you, my friend?
Doing well. It's a beautiful day out there. It's going to be really nice by the afternoon. It's hard to be in a bad mood.
Yeah, it is. And also, if it wasn't Chewy, then it wasn't me, and Chewy is my witness.
Fair enough.
So
I'm the guy you want to rely on. Okay, we'll see how that goes.
Either way, he's going to either get me out of it one way or the other, through blame, or
we're both going down.
Yeah, that too.
I start incriminating myself with like
gosh.
other crimes. I'm like, well, I did do this.
Yeah, I didn't do this, but I did do this.
We're looking for Chewy. We're looking for you, Joe, and then Chewy just starts admitting to being the second shooter on the grassy knoll. Like he's throwing himself under the bus just to save you.
For like crimes that happened 40 years ago.
Maybe even crimes that didn't even happen.
Yeah, well,
just making them up.
Not that we know of. Anyway, speaking of crimes that interesting crimes, I have a very, very good Florida man for today.
That's awesome. Hey, real quick before I forget, my son.
Yes.
All right. So I believe I was brushing my teeth, and he goes, "Hey, Dad, is today Friday?" Yeah, buddy. He goes, "I got a joke."
All right.
This is his. I believe this is his actual first
submission. One.
Yeah. Yep. So, all right. So he tells me the joke, and I'm like, "All right, you want me to use that one?" He goes, "Yes." So here we go.
I like his confidence.
Why did the cow cross the road?
I don't know.
Why did the cow cross the road? Don't know.
To get to the other side.
Hey, you know what? That's really cute. I like that one.
That is very good.
That was good.
Good job by him.
Yeah, he's 5, so
yeah, not bad at all.
I was like, that's a good one, man.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to use that one.
Shout out to Creed.
Yeah. Oh, and Presley said hi, Chewy. Big fan of yours.
Hi, Presley.
Big fan. Chewy, by the way, has and if you've got kids who are big fans of Chewy, they're not as big of fans as Creed or Paisley, excuse me.
Presley.
Sorry.
Jesus.
Presley, Paisley, Creed. What are your kids' names? But in Chewy's office, he has a whole like art gallery that she has created for him, and it is tremendous. What it disturbs me is the fact that Presley drew about 15 pictures and lightsabers and all the things for Chewy, and I didn't even get a 1. Not even a 1 lightsaber, finger lightsaber.
She is a good judge of character.
Yeah.
Dang, Sam Davidson's on one this morning, dog. Like, dang. You woke up and chose violence, my friend.
If you don't stop, I'm going to take that bat out and I'm going to beat Chewy over here. I'm not going to attack an officer of the law.
It's all in fun. No, she listens to the shows from time to time.
Yeah.
And she's interested in some of the same shows and things that Chewy's talked about. And I'm not sure as much as, she knows that she has things in common with him.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's maybe because you haven't talked about it or you may have the same interest, but she knows she's got commonality with you.
Yeah.
And that's why she's.
We try and keep a lot of those things on my end secretive.
Oh.
We don't want the listeners to know that I'm a closet dork. So it just is what it is.
God forbid a white boy got a little whimsy.
I don't know what that is, Chewy.
Me either, but it sounded funny.
You got it or you don't.
Where were we going? I don't know. Brett Crabtree says, our church is taking a small group on a mission trip out to Wyoming in July. We're flying, but I'm excited to go out there. Sammy D, before
wait a second. Is he going to hey, Brett, you going to Casper?
You going to Casper, Brett? Casper, Wyoming? Listen.
It must be pretty up there.
Wyoming.
And are you going to visit Danny Smith?
Why I don't yeah, we'll have to see. Wyoming looks gorgeous. Montana is where I want to really go. I really want to go up to Montana, which it scares me a little bit because it's super cold up there.
Yeah, I'm not going out there in the winter.
One time, this is a funny story, but a few years back, I found a radio station that was for sale up in Montana.
Oh yeah, did you think about it? Yeah,
Hard.
You
I
thought about it, dude. Yeah,
I thought about it hard.
Get yourself a cowboy hat.
Yeah, well, and I don't know what the expenses are up there in terms of running a, and I don't know if Buffalo buy radio advertising. Probably not.
Probably do a moose.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you'd need a really big signal area just to cover 5 people.
You're actually probably right. I didn't even think of that because it's so sparse.
Yeah.
That you're you're a radio station going nowhere.
Yeah.
It just
you got 100,000 watt signal, and you reach 12 people.
You're talking to 3 firefighters in those towers in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
Hey, what are you guys doing this afternoon? You guys want to go shooting this afternoon?
What's going on over at the National Park? We get National Park News.
National Park
Montana's
News.
Big Sky Radio.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh wow.
Anyway,
that's hilarious.
Anyway,
so there's that. No, we've been talking about wanting to take the trip, taking the show on the road, which I think may be exactly what this country needs. We bring the people together, right?
It may not be the road trip they want; it's the road trip they need.
Exactly. We can do What the Florida Fridays all over the country.
Okay.
Now, my question for you, Sammy D, is, and we talked about it a little bit in hour number 1, from a vacation standpoint. What kind of vacation guy are you? Are you a go to the beach and look out at the ocean, close your eyes, get sunburned, and just hear the waves lapping on the beach, cold drink in your hand, nice icy beverage in your hand? Or are you somebody who escapes to the mountains? Are you somebody that wants to go to a destination? What kind of vacation do you like to take?
That's a great question. So my wife will say I'm not fun to vacation with.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because
I don't believe it for a second.
I don't want things to be super planned. I want it to be hey, we're gonna do this today, and that's about the only thing on the itinerary, and we just figure it out.
Yeah, no pressure.
Yeah, exactly. Because one thing I hate is with kids, my wife does a great job planning a bunch of stuff, but I just don't like that, Joe.
Yeah.
I want to just relax, and if we're driving down the road and we see something fun, hey, let's go do that.
Yeah.
Right?
I like that feeling, yeah.
I'm completely with Sammy D. So, having the whole itinerary, and we got to be here this time and this time and that time, and way too much anxiety.
Way too much.
Yeah.
Even if 98% of the trip is unplanned, but on Wednesday at 7:30, we've got to be here for this thing. The whole week, my anxiety is about Wednesday at 7:30 being at that one thing. I can't get that out of my head.
Now that I don't mind. But I do want it to be spontaneous. Like you said, where if we're gonna plan something, let's be like, oh, there's a comedy show at 9 p.m. downstairs in the lobby. Let's do that. You know what I mean? Not let's go to this place so we can go to this thing.
Yeah.
I agree with both of you on that one.
The other thing is, I do not like theme parks.
Ah,
really? Can I ask why?
Theme parks as in rides, or theme parks as in Disney, or what? When you say theme parks, is it just all types of parks?
Well,
water parks even.
Water parks are okay. But I think I don't know how many times how lately you've been to theme parks. I'd say really in the last 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go to Disney without getting your foot run over 50 times by the people in the carts.
Yeah.
There's so many people packed in there, and I think the thing that bums me out at theme parks is people's lack of awareness. And when you have that many people around each other and nobody is aware of their surroundings, it's just absolute chaos. And now, on the flip side of that, the people watching is fabulous.
Yeah.
You just see the silliest things.
Yeah.
But I'm not a ride guy anymore. It just doesn't. I don't. We go and the kids have a great time, but for me, I just don't really care for the theme parks. So you got to mark that one off the list.
I can't understand the lack of awareness, both spatially and all the things. To me, I go to Walmart. Walmart drives me insane. Mm-hmm. People will stand there in the middle of the aisle, and it's either A, they don't care. They literally do not care. They think that they're the only person on the planet, or B, they're an NPC, and they just don't have that coded into them. There's one of two things going on, and it makes me you know what I'm going to start doing? Just running into people with my cart. Oh, didn't see you there, buddy. You're standing right in the middle of the aisle. If you can't see me trying to get through, then I can't see you standing right in the middle of the way.
The best thing to see at Walmart is that open mouth, squint-eyed look where someone's looking,
yeah,
like that, and they're like in the way, and it makes me so angry that it's funny. You know what I mean? Where you start to laugh a little. You're like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like actually happening.
Yeah.
You talk about the NPCs, like that's what I imagine the way some of the people drive those carts in the theme parks are.
Yeah,
they literally, it's like they just drive in circles.
They're in a predetermined route.
Yes,
they don't go anywhere.
But to Chewy's point, it's peanut butter. You're 60 years old. Peanut butter hasn't really changed in the last, I don't know. I will say this. They added honey to Peter Pan's got like that honey roasted. That stuff is a game changer. But aside from that, like you've been to the store all your life and you telling me that you can't figure out which peanut butter you eat at this point?
Brett
Come on now.
Crabtree says he gets road rage at Walmart.
I do, too. It drives me insane.
Tori, like if somebody's in the way, like they'll like leave their cart diagonally.
Yeah.
Tori will very loudly say, man, some people just don't know how to pay attention. And I'm like standing there and I'm like, listen.
That makes me uncomfortable.
Okay, thank you, because I'm going to get fought. You're not going to get fought.
Yeah.
I'm going to get fought.
Yeah.
I don't want to be fought because of your mouth. So I told her, I was like, listen, if someone says something to you, it's your stage. It's your stage, sister. You know, I'm like,
but the good thing about you is if somebody swings at you or like comes at you with a weapon, your arms are so long that you can avoid bodily harm to your like organs. Yeah, because you can just keep them back.
It's literally, you know how you'll grab a kid's head and
Yeah.
just hold them back.
Yeah,
and they just sit
that's
there
Chewy. That's his.
I have a bunch of bruises around my forearm.
Yeah,
because-
that's his defense mechanism. So you know how like animals is survival of fittest? How do you think Chewy has survived so long?
Survival of the longest, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In some areas.
Well,
Anyway.
only the arms. Yeah.
So,
wow.
Yeah, I'm about to. You know what would be, I think, really cool is to just go to the bread section and grab like some of those loaves of bread in a bag and start swinging them around like nunchucks and just anytime somebody's in the way, just whop.
Yeah. Just hearing a pop.
That's
from
clearly
across
assault.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
It was
bread.
bread. Yeah.
I think when they pull up the
right.
surveillance footage and
You're
you're
swinging
back
it
there
around
in the
like
aisle
Thor.
by yourself swinging and practicing, and then you start walking around. I think that's a pretty easy case for premeditated assault.
ESPN Winchester does not condone assaulting people with loaves of bread.
Nor does the Franklin County Sheriff's Office or Tim Fuller.
There you go.
Thank you. It would be funny though.
Sam, what's been going on in
the county? Well, we're at 17 after the hour. Do we want to do a break?
Yeah, let's get a break in here. We'll come back with Sammy D talking about all the things that are going on in and around town. And once again, they are not condoning. They do not. You don't do that to me. That'll put me really. He probably has stopped coming in. And I joked about him, being here and coming back, and he keeps coming back. But if one of y'all goes out and assaults somebody with a loaf of bread, that's going to be on me,
Yeah.
and that's a bad look. Don't do that. All right, we'll be back on the other side. It is the starting lineup, fueled by Loco Coffee and Bunny Bread. ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
Out with the cold, in with the comfort. Refresh your home with Hall Furniture in Winchester. From stylish living room sets to cozy recliners and dining pieces made for gathering, now's the perfect time to upgrade your space. Quality, comfort, and pieces you'll love coming home to. That's Hall Furniture. Visit them at 3131 Deckard Boulevard in Winchester or browse anytime at hallfurniture.com. Hall Furniture. Make your home feel brand new.
This is ESPN Radio Winchester, where Franklin County comes to life. From local news and athletics to everything in between, we're proud to bring you the stories that matter right here at home. And it's all made possible by local businesses connecting with real people in our community every single day. When you support them, you support our local coverage. Over 75 years of Franklin County heritage. Want your business to be a part of it? Contact WCDT today. ESPN Radio Winchester. Franklin County plays here.
From the 931 Go Weather Center, it's time for an ESPN Radio Winchester weather update, presented by Bennett's Pharmacy.
No more rain headed your way today. We're starting off our day with a little bit of patchy fog before 7 a.m. Otherwise, it'll be clearing up bright and sunny. 73 degrees this afternoon with some calm winds coming in at just 5 miles per hour. Stay tuned to ESPN Radio Winchester 1340 1069 for all of your pleasant weather updates.
At Bennett's Pharmacy in Winchester, we're more than a pharmacy. We're your partner in health. Conveniently located at 1201 Dinah Shore Boulevard, we're here to serve you with fast, friendly, and personalized service. Need prescriptions filled? Looking for over-the-counter products? We've got you covered. Plus, enjoy local delivery and expert advice from our caring team. Call us today at 931-967-2777 or stop by Bennett's Pharmacy at 1201 Dinah Shore Boulevard today.
Take the starting lineup with you wherever you go. Download the WCDT smartphone app in your Google Play and Apple App Store. Now, back to the guys.
Having a hard time with my headphone here. Back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester. Joe Abraham alongside Chewy. We welcome Sammy D into studio as we do each and every Friday, my friend. It is a What the Florida Friday. But before we get into more madness, let's talk about what's going on locally.
Yes, so we have coming up this next week, Monday, May 11th, 6 p.m., right there in front of City Hall, we have the annual Police and Firefighters Memorial. And that's an event we do every year to honor the folks that that have given their life in the line of duty. And this one's, to me, I think it's pretty special. This is the 30th anniversary of it.
Oh, wow.
So we're expecting, or hopefully expecting a big crowd for that. We have a couple of keynote speakers there. Tullahoma Fire Chief Kenneth Pearson will be there, and Sheriff Tim Fuller will also be there speaking. So we want to invite everybody to come out and be a part of that.
Hold on. Is this the thing that we've been talking about the last few years where you do the tug of war at it?
No.
No, that's the different one.
No.
Okay.
No. Yeah, that's a different event. This is something that's set up, and I'm sure you've seen it over in the last few years. They do it right there. There's actually a statue right there at the corner of North High and First Avenue South, and that's where everybody will be set up. And I'm sure you've been trying to go somewhere, and you go, why do they got this road shut down right here? And it's for that event.
Okay.
Because they seat people all the way out to the roadway there.
Yeah.
And it's a nice event. It's been a great event in the past few years, and we're hoping this one's even bigger because it's the 30th anniversary. So, as I said, May 11th, 6 p.m. right there in front of the City Hall. It's actually, I think they're calling it the South Lawn. Stop by, and they'll be speaking, and it's a really nice event.
Okay. Question for you real quick. So yesterday at the Tennessee 250 event, they had the old fire truck out there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my question is, do we have, and if we don't, but do we have an old police car laying around anywhere?
Not that I'm aware of.
And if we don't, what do we got to do to find one of your old Crown Vics?
Because
in like 50 years, that's going to be like the fire truck.
You know, funny enough, Crown Vics are getting hard to come by.
Oh, yeah.
Dang. Because their reliability?
Well, yes. I mean, we just auctioned off two.
You got to hold on to one of those.
Yeah. You know, what's funny is, we were joking in the break about, I think the first break, about the Florida Man contest down there. one of the main reasons now that Crown Vics are getting harder and harder to find is because where they held the games there, the Freedom Factory, the owner of that's a guy named Cletus McFarland, and he does a series where he buys up all these Crown Vics, and then they race them around his racetrack. They've done it at Indianapolis, Talladega, Bristol, and they crash a bunch of these. So he's got hundreds of Crown Vics that he's purchased over the years.
Right.
And he buys a lot of them from police auctions.
Huh. Really?
Yeah.
Very cool.
Interesting story, I guess.
Yeah, that is really
interesting. Hello, love. All right, so you got that going on, which is a very cool event. So yesterday, I came across a note on the Facebook page, and then we got sent an update from the school, a press release from the school about the threat over at Deckard Elementary. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes. So that was as we sent out a joint release with the school system, 4:30 yesterday. This was an incident where a threat was brought to our SRO there, Adam Isbell, and he immediately began investigating it, obviously.
Right.
Found out that it was like a non-credible threat. And, yeah, the teachers, the staff, more importantly, the students, nobody was ever in any danger.
Right.
Right. There were no means to enact that threat. And, you know, some of the folks asked, well, why weren't parents alerted immediately? Because there was never a threat.
Right.
There was never. And even though that's a non-credible threat, we still have to treat it as with the same zeal.
Right.
Go and do all the things, the heightened levels of security, all that. And that's what it was, Joe. Like it was one of those deals where there was not really any meat to it.
Right. Well, and I think what's tough about it is based on the situation that we're kind of currently in and what's been going on around the school district. You know, kids say stuff. Kids, you know, they joke around and sometimes they cross a line that they don't realize is there, or they think that they're being funny, or whatever the case is. But to your point, you guys put out a press release. There's a balance of like sharing information on something like that and people freaking out over a situation where there was really nothing there. Yeah. But you did your due diligence. You made sure that everything was good. But it almost, putting the information out there and highlighting the fact that it happened almost makes it bigger than it actually was, because it was so insignificant when you consider the level of an actual threat was zero, basically.
Yes, and that's true. And then also you have the worry of copycats.
Right.
You know, if you've paid attention in the last, you know, if there's one, there's
they come in bunches.
Yeah, and we want to be transparent, obviously.
Right.
We want to get out as much information as we can.
Well, and that's the other part of it, is if you don't say anything, then everybody's pissed. Why didn't you say anything?
Yep. I mean, and that's the thing, like, and it's tough because I'm a parent and I understand, but, you know, if we say something the second it happens without any investigation, any of that, what does it cause? Mass hysteria.
Yeah.
Everybody's freaking out. There'll be 400 parents over there at the school.
Right.
And obviously, if it's a valid, credible thing, then we're going to evacuate the school and do all the things. We've got protocols in place for that. But you're right. It's a delicate balance of, and at the end of the day, sadly, no matter what we do, if we do it by the book like we did yesterday, somebody's still going to be mad.
Right.
And we accept that. We signed up for this job. We know that some people just want to be mad.
Well, and that's what I do appreciate about it is that you know what you signed up for, and whether they're officers of the law, whether they're local politicians, you've got to kind of have that thick skin, especially in a small town like this. Heck, even Chewy and I jumping on the radio, you do anything, say anything in the public eye, you're going to be criticized for it, and that just comes with the territory. Now, from a punishment standpoint, Brett Crabtree reached out and said, well, what's the punishment for these threats like this? Like, kids who think that they're just being funny, or kids that are joking on. And obviously there's different levels of threats and things like that. But in a normal scenario, what is the punishment, and does it change based on the seriousness of the threat?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of said there, you were leading into it. There's different levels, right? So, excuse me, we've had different levels of threats, even in the last year, and generally, the highest level of punishment that we will do from our side will be the charge of threats of mass violence.
Right.
That's the most severe thing we can do there for just a threat. The school system, they've got different levels, whether it be suspension for a short time, suspension for the rest of the year, suspension for an actual year. There's kind of just laying the framework to give you the best explanation I can. So here's where things can vary. Based on all the information that's gathered through the investigation, that information is most of the times, our officers will meet with, or at least have a phone call with an ADA. That's an assistant district attorney.
Okay.
We will lay out the facts of the case, and they will help make the decision on whether the children are charged with that threats of mass violence.
Okay, so just like an investigation into
Absolutely.
any other crime, you determine if there's any kind of credible, chargeable offense there.
Absolutely.
And to what level?
So was it, number one, we got to use some common sense in this. Was the threat credible? Yep. So there's part of it. Were there means to commit whatever threat? And that's part of what our office does. Like, if there's a threat, the public probably doesn't realize that our officers will go out to that home and do a threat assessment and see what's going on, see was there any means to commit a threat. And all this information plays into the decision to charge that child or not charge that child.
Right. And there is, to your point, being different levels, we've seen that play out here just in the last year or so. We had an individual who was actually, weren't they like on their way to do something, and you guys intervened and picked that individual up? And then you've got kids who are just in school and they say something to a group of kids that maybe they don't like, or whatever the case is.
And the other one that's come up repeatedly is putting a message on Snapchat.
The social media.
Yes, and
the
these
digital platforms.
There's so many. These kids have so many group chats. So they'll put that in there. Before you know it, it's shared by dozens, and then dozens turns into 100, and then before you know it, there's a bunch of parents. Hey, do you know about this? And most of the time we do.
Right.
The kids really do a phenomenal job of the message we've preached for years, and you guys have heard me say it on here multiple times. If you see something, say something.
Yeah.
And man, do those kids do it. They
Yeah.
do a phenomenal job.
Right.
The moment something happens, they're letting their SRO know, or a teacher or a respected adult in the school, and we really appreciate that. I think the reason they do that is because our SROs have done such a good job building those relationships.
Yeah, it's a trust thing.
So, yeah, they do a phenomenal job letting us know.
I think what's important, to note about all this, I mean, Chewy, consider the kids that, you go to school with, and where we're at in life and things like that now. But looking back on it, if there is a kid who you're friends with and something like this happens, and next thing you know, now they're in the legal system, they're dealing with those challenges, the school system gets involved and they're getting suspended or held back or removed from school and stuff like that. Like, imagine how long that would take for an individual, a young individual who maybe did not fully, their brain is not fully matured, they did not fully realize the magnitude of what they were doing or saying or whatever, and how it affects their life. that would be a life-altering, trajectory-altering situation that could happen to a young person, and the only really people looking out for them outside of the teachers and the SROs is the parents.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it's so important for parents to have these kind of conversations with their kids. It makes me realize I need to have this. And my kids right now, they don't have phones and stuff. I need to have this conversation, though, with my daughter, with my sons, about the seriousness of, and Crosby is like a very silly kid, right? And they goof around. Kids goof around, and they say stuff. And sometimes you're like, no. Way over the line.
Right.
And that's one of the things that we have to take into account, not only our office but the ADA's office. We have to think about, the child's age. Does a child completely understand what that means? And you're right, that is a life-altering trajectory, right?
Right.
So that's part of it, and I really have to praise our SROs for the job they do and taking all of that into account, because they really do a great job.
Yeah.
And the cooperation with the school system was fabulous yesterday. I think right now we're in a spot where the cooperation is really good, Joe.
Yeah.
And the amount of I don't want to say that in such a way that it makes people think it was bad in the past, but I think it's better now. I
Right.
really do. And the staff that I've worked with on these things, we're in contact regularly, and we couldn't ask for a better cooperation.
Very cool.
And relationship.
Well, I appreciate the insight both on what happened yesterday and then the process as well. So as far as any of the other things that are going on in and around the community, I've been hearing on the news about the continuous busts and this, that, and the other thing. Katie doing a good job keeping up with all that type of stuff. But what else we got going on in and around that?
Yeah, so there's one I'm gonna release a story this afternoon. This one may seem a little. People may think this one's a little crazy, but it's 2026. And
right.
If I said the words to you, cattle rustling,
okay,
what century would you think of?
Cowboys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Late 1800s, maybe.
Yeah. So our office investigated a case, and two gentlemen were indicted and then later arrested for what is modern-day cattle rustling.
Really?
Yes, to the tunes of hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Wow.
So there was two gentlemen that were charged with theft of property, $60,000 to $250,000, and conspiracy.
Wow. They weren't. Their names aren't like Dutton, are they?
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not from the Dutton. It's not from the Yellowstone.
Okay. The RIP wasn't involved. All right, we're good.
Yeah. Well, we actually signed up RIP to help us investigate the thing for a little while, and we had Casey out there too.
Yeah.
It was wild.
Yeah.
No, but it's an interesting case, and most people don't think.
Going around pistol whipping people.
We don't condone that, nor does Sheriff Tim Fuller. But it's interesting that crimes like that are still happening. They may look a little different, but at the base of it, it's still theft of cattle.
Interesting. It's fascinating too. I'm actually interested to see how the legal process will go, just because I want to see how the prosecutors and the lawyers attack it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean they could look at it as this is just a standard type of theft, or you never know because of how many of you guys grew up watching westerns with your dad?
Yeah.
I certainly did. And who was the lowest of the low?
Desperados, thieves.
Yeah, the cattle rustlers.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there'll still be that attitude about it. Who knows? But
I wonder if it'll resurrect one of those really old laws that was super hyper specific about cattle or something back when it was way more economically important. But I am interested. But like you said, it's a modern version of a very, very, very old trick, basically.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm going to put that out this afternoon, I'm not going to release all the details, but I'm going to put enough out there so people understand how tough, how tough these cases are sometimes, because, there's not as many records. There's not as many records on cattle like there is other types of property.
Right.
And we want to say a thank you to the state of Tennessee Agricultural Crime Unit. Like, they helped us with this case a bunch.
They'd be interesting to talk to.
Yeah, that would be kind of unique.
Yeah, I mean, I've worked an alleged cattle theft case before, and the state was actually able to help, and most people wouldn't think about it, but we ended up doing DNA.
Really?
On cattle to make sure that this herd was completely contained by the with the proper owners, and we were able to do DNA and prove that these cases or these cows were not stolen in this case.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah,
interesting.
There's some really, really cool things that most people don't think about in the agricultural world.
Yeah.
Well, Brett Crabtree says you just have to grab the bull by the horns. And
that's true, Brett.
Kevin Simmons says, "What's for dinner? Dinner beef." I might be a little bit. What's for dinner? Beef. Anyway, so y'all be out there catching cattle rustlers. Good job by you. That's really cool.
Hey, that's not me. That's just our department.
Well, yeah,
has a
good,
bunch of
good job by you guys.
Has a bunch of great employees, and things like these happen every day, every week. And
now I want to go to a saloon now.
Yeah.
After this conversation,
yeah.
I feel like I need to tie some spurs on and just go
we got to get you some cowboy boots and a cowboy hat, and we'll get you on a ride along. How about that?
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Out in Montana, Wyoming, somewhere.
Hey, did Brett ever say if he was going to Casper?
He never said.
Brett, are you going? He may have poofed away and then come back.
Okay.
Are you going to Casper in Wyoming, Brett?
And are you going to visit Denny Smith?
Brett also says, "What happens on the road stays on the road." Yeah. Who you going? He may not know. Anyway, let's get a quick break in here. When we come back, do you have any more that you want to tie up?
I think that's all the main events we got going. I think
cattle rustling. I'm looking forward to reading the information on that. That's tremendous. All right. Well, when we come back, we will get into some funny stuff. I came across. It wasn't quite cattle rustling, but it was a pretty good Florida man situation. Actually, Florida woman.
Ooh.
And I'll tell you about what I came across. When we come back, it is a What the Florida Friday on ESPN Radio, 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
The starting lineup with Joe and Chewy is presented by Loco in Winchester. Right here in Winchester, Loco is doing things their own way. From locally roasted Loco coffee to a one-of-a-kind shop experience. It's a place that's built for the Franklin County community. So if you haven't stopped by yet, now's the time. Support local. Drink Loco coffee, fueling Franklin County mornings. Roasted right here in Franklin County. And don't forget to tune into the starting lineup, weekdays from 7 to 9.
Feeling under the weather? Need a quick checkup or urgent care? Look no further than Complete Express Care in Winchester. Our expert medical team is here to provide fast, reliable care when you need it most. From minor illnesses and injuries to lab tests and x-rays. No appointment necessary. Visit us today at 1211 Dinah Shore Boulevard in Winchester or call us at 931-967-6669. Complete Express Care. Your health, our priority.
Looking for a reliable car at an affordable price? Stop by Money Down Motors here in Deckard. We specialize in quality pre-owned vehicles with low down payments and flexible financing options. No matter your credit history, drive away today with a car you'll love and a payment plan that works for you. Visit us at 1945 Deckard Boulevard or call 931-962-3404 for more info. At Money Down Motors, LLC, your ride is waiting.
It's time for a local news break from the 931 Go News Center.
A former Franklin County High School teacher has been indicted on 6 crime charges involving a minor. In a press release earlier this week, Herbert Toby Mays was indicted by a Tennessee grand jury on charges of sexual exploitation of a minor and solicitation of a minor. Detectives say the investigation began several weeks ago, and the indictment was returned Tuesday, based on evidence presented to the grand jury. Mays is currently being held without bond pending a court hearing. Authorities are asking any other potential victims to contact the Franklin County Sheriff's Office. The Franklin County School District confirmed Mays resigned at the conclusion of the 2024-25 school year. In a statement, the district said it is cooperating fully with law enforcement and emphasized that student safety remains its top priority. Because the case is an active investigation, district officials say no further comment will be made at this time. In separate law enforcement activity, the Winchester Police Department recently conducted a sale to minor operation following complaints that some retailers were selling vaping products to individuals under the age of 21. During the operation, a verified minor entered 17 local establishments with valid state-issued identification reflecting their true age. 3 retailers, Downtown Vape and Smoke, Mad Smoke and Vape, and Half Moon Smoke Shop, sold vaping products to the minor. Clerks at Half Moon Smoke Shop and Mad Smoke and Vape were issued citations in lieu of arrest. At Downtown Vape and Smoke, the minor was sold vaping products twice during the operation. The clerk, identified as Adia Batros, was cited for the first offense and taken into custody after the second. Under Tennessee law, individuals under 21 cannot purchase tobacco or vaping products, and it is illegal to sell or provide those products to minors. This also remains an active investigation. For more local news and updates, visit 931go.com. Stay informed and stay connected to ESPN Radio Winchester.
When it comes to caring for your loved ones, choose a name you can trust. Inhabit Home Health in Winchester, located at 2068 Cowan Highway. We're here to provide compassionate professional care right in the comfort of your own home. From skilled nursing to therapy services, our team is dedicated to helping you or your loved ones achieve the best quality of life. Call Inhabit Home Health today at 931-967-0633 to learn more about our personalized care plans.
There was an outline for today's show, but it didn't survive the opening segment. Back to Joe and Chewy on the starting lineup right here on ESPN Radio 1340-1069 WCDT Winchester.
Back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340-1069 WCDT Winchester. Joe Abraham, along with Chewy. We got Sammy D in studio with us this morning. And, when you take a look at the Major League Baseball standings, you've got the Los Angeles Dodgers, who, of course, have a powerhouse roster. But I noticed they're 23-14. They're 5-5 in their last 10. They've got a run differential, though, of plus 77, which means to me that either they're crushing teams or they're losing, which means, again, that their depth in the pitching might be a challenge. You look up the Chicago Cubs, 26-12. They're on a 9-game winning streak, 9-1 in their last 10. The Braves are still friggin' killing it. They're 26-12, 7-3 in their last 10. The Yankees, of course, have outscored their opponents by more runs in all of Major League Baseball. They're 8-2 in their last 10. And the power rankings, you could argue, a lot of different teams in Major League Baseball, but they would probably all be surpassed by the Dust Devils. Your baseball team is like killing it, man.
Yeah, it's a good bunch of boys and girls.
Yeah, I would not want to be the Yankees and have to tee off against the pun intended Dust Devils. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's a great one, man. We had a great game last night. Got another victory. I believe the score was 20-7. And
jeez.
Yeah, everybody was hitting the ball last night, and I'm super proud of them. I couldn't be prouder of the progression and the way these kids have learned, and it's really is amazing to see the kids' growth from the first time, and it's even more fun when it's a kid's first year playing.
Right?
They go from having little or no knowledge about it to now they've really changed, and that's the joy of coaching.
Yeah, well, that's tremendous. Good job by you, and good job by the Dust Devils. All right, it is a What the Florida Friday, my friends, which Brett Crabtree did respond. What did he say in the chat over there?
He said he is going to a small town called Encampment, Wyoming, where they're doing a cowboy roundup type thing, and we're helping with the behind the scenes in the support of the event. Jay Cool also jumped in saying, "Get you on a hog with some leather chaps." Speaking of hog, how's the motorcycle search coming along?
My brother sent me one the other day, I've been talking about wanting to get a Indian Scout bobber, and Katie's been like shutting down the idea. Also, there's the fact of like money. But he sent me an 05 Honda 750 bobber, which is listen, it's in rough shape, but it's like $1,000. He's like, there you go, that'll get you started. It still looks pretty badass. So anyway, let's get back to What the Florida Friday.
You were talking about it's one thing I probably should have covered. The Kyle Petty charity ride across America.
That was yesterday.
Stopped at Food City yesterday.
Yeah.
Did you guys go out to that? We
didn't get out to that. We're all over the place. Yesterday was like the culmination of everything. It felt like all in one day, and we did not get out to that.
Yeah, apparently also the whole station's going to go under because we didn't go to.
Yes, yeah, so. that was explained to us by my father.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Well, I can't believe you guys didn't go out there. I figured the Hoagie Rollers would be out there in force.
Well, we got invited out there, certainly. In fact, we got invited out there by like Kyle Petty himself. But yeah, we couldn't. There's only a few of us over here left. The Hoagie Rollers, our crowd is thin at this point.
Kyle did reach out to the Scooter Syndicate.
Oh, yeah?
And I reached out to Allsup and asked for an excused absence for all my crew.
Yeah.
And that was unfortunately denied. So we could not go to the event.
Dang.
We hate that.
I wonder if, speaking of, Jay, did you get over to that thing the other day? Dave Pendleton, Bulldog, can help you fix up that $1,000 bobber. Ooh.
There you go.
I know our officers went out. We had Sheriff Fuller was out there.
Nice. I'm really upset that I didn't because, growing up, Kyle Petty in a mellow yellow car. Richard Petty was, you had Richard Petty's the king, and Dale Earnhardt's like the king 1B. It's 1A and 1B, those two guys.
Right.
Jay says the charity ride was a great event. CVMA was there showing support. Good job by you guys. I figured you'd be out there. Let me put it this way. If it was not for some rainouts and some moving of some events, we'd have been out there. But it's just, there
was a lot happening yesterday.
Yeah, it was a busy day. Busy day today as well. Jody says it sounds amazing. She wants to go to the Cowboy Roundup. He wants to go to that thing. Sorry, Jody. All right, so speaking of Florida woman detained. Gentlemen, Florida woman detained after attempting to baptize strangers, not people she knew. Baptize strangers in the Publix lobster tank.
Interesting. Okay.
Wow. There's a lot to process here.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Like at first, I was like, "Oh, what's the problem?" And then the second part came, and I was like, "Uh-oh."
Well, the Publix lobster tank.
Well, let's look at this element by element. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so she's taking strangers,
right?
So people are just shopping. They're in there. They're just walking with their cart. They're looking at their shopping list, trying to figure out what's going on, and then some lady just grabs them and walks them over to the lobster tank.
Yes.
Dunks their heads in the lobster tank. Wow. I'm sitting here thinking, like, there's charges here. Like, there's
yeah. Well,
what did they actually charge her with? And I want to see versus what I had in my head.
So I only have the headline.
Oh, you haven't even investigated this yet.
I haven't really, because I immediately stopped it, and my first thought was, what denomination recognized Publix lobster tank as holy water? Like, what denomination is this woman?
Can't anything be holy water if it's christened?
Publix lobster
baptismal
tank baptism. Let me search this. See what pops up.
That's. I just want to know the level of strangers they were.
Oh, right.
Did she say, "Hey, do you guys want to get baptized?" And then they're like, "Yeah, sure."
Okay, here we go.
Meet me at Publix.
Florida woman,
aisle 7.
Florida woman detained after attempting to baptize strangers in the Publix lobster tank. A 51-year-old Polk County woman was detained Sunday afternoon at Publix supermarket after attempting to baptize six
people.
Six unsuspecting shoppers in the live lobster tank near the seafood counter, declaring each one saved, scaled, and renewed in the name of the sea.
Oh, she's baptism for Dagon.
This is not AI. Marlene Crumpacker.
Okay.
This is made up.
Was taken into custody after a deli employee noticed her standing barefoot beside the tank, sleeves pushed up, gently lowering a stranger's head toward the water while loudly proclaiming, "Rise, child, and walk in shellfish."
What is going on?
This is fake.
I don't think that it is. There's no AI stuff on this at all. You know how they have like the AI thing, like this is AI.
Yeah.
None of that is on here.
Well, if that's Polk County, that's Sheriff Grady Judd.
I was about to say,
I
that's...
guarantee you he said something about this.
Is there something in the water in Polk County? Like, what is
There
it
must
about
be.
them?
Per the affidavit, Marlene entered the South Florida Avenue Publix at 10:38 a.m. carrying a tote bag containing a hand towel, a glass mason jar, and a printed pamphlet titled "The Crustacean Covenant: A Guide to Aquatic Salvation."
That's amazing. Jay Cool wanted to know if it was a sprinkle or full immersion. And then Kevin Simmons says, or pouring. And then Brett Crabtree jumped in saying, probably depends on the denomination she was. What denomination of the crustacean are
Okay. So this woman is definitely, beyond. So when the seafood manager calmly asked her to step away from the tank, Marlene reportedly responded, "You can either join the movement or you can keep selling tilapia." This is Sergeant Loretta Pinkston of the Lakeland Police Department told reporters, "She told us very calmly that the lobsters had, quote, voted, and she was simply carrying out their will. I asked which lobsters casted the deciding vote, and she pointed to a 2.4-pound lobster that she was calling Gerald."
Gerald,
Yeah,
the
this,
lobster.
This can't be real, boys. There's no way.
I don't know.
There is a
This
cult.
is so Florida, man.
Yeah.
Florida woman. Like, this is... Keep going, Joe. This just keeps getting more interesting.
That's all I got.
There is a cult online that's making their own lobster god.
It says,
what did it say? What did she call it?
images and full story are copyrighted by, what is this, TBC Media.
What is what did she call it? The something of the crustaceans? What was it?
The Crustacean Covenant, A Guide to Aquatic Salvation.
Crustacean Covenant.
So there, if you don't know about lobsters, they don't have like a biological clock inside, like a ticking.
Yeah.
You know, like humans, we've all got one. It's just that kind of thing. Well, lobsters usually die because they get too exhausted to get out of their shell, and something eats them.
Yeah, you told me that.
Yeah, and there's a group of people who are trying to get a hold of a lobster, and they're going to help the lobster molt indefinitely until it gets to whatever size it is.
Listen,
because you can get some lobsters that are like this big.
This may be completely fake. Don't ruin it for me, Sammy D.
Wow.
I want to know how she got the communications, though. You know what I mean? Like, was she in a Red Lobster one day and it, like, hit her? You know? Oh.
She needs to get a haircut. We need to check and see if there's any antenna underneath that hair of hers.
You know,
Isn't it a human molting? Ugh.
I wonder, is Gerald, was he just the guy that voted and said, we're doing this, or is he the leader of the lobsters?
I mean, he sounds pretty much in charge.
I was about to say, he kind of sounds like that might be his tank. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He might be the HBIC around there. He doesn't have the rubber bands. You know what I mean? Like everybody else.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. So whenever you get that dunk in there, you better like jerk your head back pretty quick because that, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he'd get you.
Could you imagine? You ever been snipped by like a lobster before?
No.
It's not cool.
No.
Well, I'm just saying. I don't know. This may be very like an explanation of why there's so much weirdness in Florida.
I mean, I'm interested in her religion.
Is there a secret underground religion down in Florida?
Yeah,
that's
I want to know.
Like cocaine religion or lobster religion, or
the thing here, like, this is either really real, and we have to look at maybe a mental health issue there, or drug psychosis, or it's really fake.
Yeah.
Like
Sounds like you're not living like Larry. Okay.
Like this is insane, Joe.
I don't know if it's real or not.
This is the wildest story I think we've had.
Ye of little faith.
But it's pretty friggin' funny.
Yeah, I like this one quite a bit. This is a fun one. You know what? I'm choosing to believe that this is real.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
I like the whimsy. I enjoy it. I'm like, you know what? That's a fun one. You know, it's not involving like nobody died.
Yeah,
there was an assault.
Yes. Oh, there's so many. And when we look into these, we type Florida Man into Twitter. So many of them are bad. Like we don't even read them.
Talk
We can't.
about them.
Yeah, we can't. We can't talk about a lot of the ones I find. But
Jay Cool says, did she put smelling salt on them before or after the baptism? Brett Crabtree says, what in the Little Mermaid is going on?
It's a perfect comment. Absolutely perfect.
Oh man,
Under the sea.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe she was just coming out of. Maybe she watched the performance of the Little Mermaid over at the high school. Who knows?
Change your opinion on some sea life. Lobsters are nasty though. Like if I'm gonna worship a sea creature, I don't want it to be a lobster.
You know,
they're gross. You ever seen a lobster in the ocean, like a wild one?
No.
Ugh. They're covered in just ugh.
But this is what happens. You know, people go on. This is how you end up with the hantavirus.
Oh,
this.
I'm just saying. You get people.
That's what happened on the cruise ship.
Yeah.
It was the lobster.
Yeah.
Joe also 2 or 3 day binge on meth will end you up in the same situation.
That
trying
too,
to
yeah.
Baptize people in a lobster tank.
All right, brother. Well, I appreciate you. You and your whole squad of cattle rustling.
No, we're not
cops.
cattle rustlers.
Cattle rustling cops. Tell those boys from Yellowstone we appreciate their help.
Yep, glad they stopped by.
Send them back to the train. Send them back up to Wyoming.
The event on Monday. Do you want to give everyone the time and date and everything again?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. In closing out, it's May 11th, 6 p.m. Be right there on the south lawn of the Winchester City Hall. That's the 30th anniversary of the Police and Fire Memorial. It's going to be a great event. We encourage everybody to come out.
All right. Kevin Simmons also jumped in here at the last second and said the lady will be doing anointing oil at the lobster tank today. So
good to know.
So
thank you, Kevin, for the update.
All right.
All right. Y'all stay out of trouble today. Well, all weekend, really. We'll see you back here on Monday on the starting lineup. Thanks to Sammy D for coming in this morning, as well as for Chewy for mixing the show. I am Joe Abraham. This is ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
I came in, I was running hot.
Real hot.
Came in here with some Sports Center obligations after SC Plus, which you can see on Disney Plus, and I was like, guys, I'll be there. I promise, I'll be there. But this campus is deceptively big.
Yeah. And for people stopping you, shaking your hand, wanting to talk to you. I know how it is.